1. Printing press. The printing press was invented during the Holy Roman Empire by Johannes Gutenberg, around the year 1440. At the end of medieval society, Europe experienced an exponential growth of economy and culture. Another invention made by Gutenberg was oil-based ink. The solution was much more durable than the previous versions. Printing helped to spread information much faster. From the only existing printing press in Mainz, Germany, printing presses began to appear in over 270 cities in Europe. 2. The bulb. Beginning in 1878, Thomas Edison began working hard to design a widely used electric lighting system, basically what we call a light bulb today. The first light bulbs began to appear at the beginning of the 19th century. Some of the world's most prominent scientists created a variant, but each of them had serious shortcomings. Either the lifetime was too short, or the production they required exaggerated expenses, or they had a much too high electricity consumption. 3. The plane. On September 3, 1950, the inventor, aircraft and engine builder Traian B. August 17, 29, 1872, honorary member of the Romanian Academy, passed away in 1906. He made the first self-propelled flight, without catapults or other external means, with a heavier-than-air apparatus. The day of March 18, 1906 will record the first aviation success of Traian, as well as the first flight in the history of mankind, with an apparatus heavier than air, which rose from the ground by its own means. The priority of such a flight is erroneously attributed to the Frenchman Santos Dumont, who achieved this achievement only on September 13, the same year 1906. 4. The personal computer. The computer was initially used to perform mathematical calculations, which were of large size. The first personal computer became operational in 1946. The first single-person computer was the LG P30, created in 1956 and sold for $47,000, equivalent to $414,000 today. 5. The vaccine. Many have heard of Pasteur, and perhaps there are enough of those who know that he created the vaccine against rabies. Some may have heard about Edward Jenner, who contributed, through his work, to the eradication of smallpox, the only human disease that has ever been eradicated. But how much do you know about Maurice Hilleman? And yet, he contributed decisively to the development of this field of medical research, vaccinology. He invented or improved more than 25 vaccines. Among them, more than half of the 14 commonly recommended in the vaccination schedule for children in Western countries, and mankind owes him the saving of many millions of human lives. And yet, he remained almost unknown. 6. The car. The forerunners of modern automobiles were those driven by the steam engine, made in 1672 by Ferdinand Verbiest. In some interpretations, Carl Benz is considered the inventor of the automobile. In 1886, he was also the initiator of the first serial construction of automobiles in Germany. The clock. The first watches appeared in Europe around the 15th century, wristwatches starting to become popular in the 1920s. At first being worn only by women. Only then did men start wearing pocket watches, the military being the first men to wear wristwatches. 8. The telephone. We use the phone to talk, to send messages, to take photos, and to surf the internet. Without the imagination of a Scottish-born inventor, none of these habits of modern man would have been possible. Alexander Graham Bell became the first person to patent a device capable of transmitting and receiving spoken words. In Bell's transmitter, sound waves struck a flexible diaphragm to which a magnet was attached. 9. Refrigeration. Before the construction of refrigerators, people used cellars where ice or snow from the winter was stored. In the 18th century, William Cullen achieved the first artificial refrigeration, but the first machines of this type were invented by American and British experts in the 19th century. 10. The camera. Before the invention of the camera was the camera obscura, used since ancient times. The first photograph was taken in 1839 by Louis Daguerre. Ever since the first photographs were taken, inventors were trying to make color images. The first photographs of this type were taken in 1861 by the physicist James Clerk Maxwell.